But think about it. We could have this Bible. We could know we're the tribe of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, go in the room, take the book, and hide from it. Never come to the street, never teach his people. Peter could have done the same thing. Paul could, Peter was crucified upside down with his wife. You know why? Because he was trying to teach his people who they were and to come back to God so that they would be freed as a unit. Paul was killed because he wanted to raise his people up. So these men in the Bible, this is a revolutionary book. And what it speaks about is a group of revolutionary men that were trying to reform the minds of their people so they could come back to this so we can lift the curse from off of us. So we need you to do something about it. We need you to care about your people, because I saw in that moment where you had to think about it, you said, it sounds good to say I'm free, but we ain't free till all my people free. You understand?
What you gonna do for the kingdom? Would you risk your life for the kingdom? Make a sacrifice for the kingdom.
From that until now,
Yeah.
it's definitely it's not the same.
It's not the same. Explain how it's not the same.
From what you just explained to me.
Yes, explain how it's not the same.
Came from.
Yes, Deuteronomy 28 verse 48.
If that was the case, you wouldn't be out here talking right now.
Huh?
I said, if that was the case, if that's where we was now, you wouldn't be out here talking right now.
Right, but the mentality that we have is that we're free because we can walk around. Think about it. Can you get out this country without a passport?
Yes, but yes and no.
How? You gonna have to sneak out.
Real ID.
You gonna have to, you get a real ID and you gonna have to sneak out. You gonna have to sneak out the country. You can't walk out, you can't go to the border and say, yo, I'm out of here, I'll be back in 10 days. It don't work like that. Who established those borders? If you wanna buy a house, where you gotta go to get the money?
Bring it out.
You gotta get a job, right? Did you set up the job system? Did you say, you know what, bring me over here and I wanna set up a labor system where we gonna get white men's faces on dollar bills and then we gonna go and we gonna use it and we gonna pay for houses. I like this, it's a good system, we should establish it. Did we establish that? So you ain't free. All they do is they allow you to walk around, right? We think the Lord will be able to come out here and teach you, but we ain't free, brother. Right. We're still in the same exact position that we in. Before you read that, Baruch 3 and verse 8, here's how you know. Christ knew we weren't free because we were paying taxes. So here's a big thing that Baruch said all the way back in the time of Babylon. This is a key identification, because if we were ruling, what would we be paying for? Me and you, we ruling everything, right? What we paying for?
Everything.
We gonna pay?
No, we were?
Yeah, we were ruling.
Oh,
We ain't paying for nothing because we would be free at that point.
Right.
Baruch chapter 3 and verse 8.
The book of Baruch, chapter 3 and verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
We exactly where we were thousands of years ago. What they did was they gave you the illusion of inclusion.
Right.
It looks like we involved. It looks like we're the same. But in reality, as a black man, we have no pull in this country.
Right.
We have no ability to stop the police from murdering us. We have no gathering of men to make sure that our children are taken care of. And that's exactly why we got to rise up now and do the same thing in keeping the commandments of God.
Right.
Because this day that we speaking, we in the same captivity.
Right.
Read.
Where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments.
You see what he said? We'll make us slaves, we subject to payment. So if I go on my wallet, you go on your wallet, what we both got? We got a little bit of money, right? But we ain't choose that life. That life was given to us because what? We broke these commandments of God. I'm going to show you that. Deuteronomy 28 verse 48. That was given to us, started 46. That started because as the children of Israel, come over here. I know you looked at it, but I got to make sure it's sick in your brain, right? I got to make sure. You've been standing here for a minute. I don't want you to leave and miss the point. These people, the reason that they're here being called African Americans is because they refuse to serve God and they serve the devil ultimately. But the people that are ruling over you want you to continue to call yourself African American or to believe you're free. It's like a dog in your house, right? If you have a dog in your house, what will you do to him when you want him to be comfortable after he's well trained up? What you do with his leash? Huh?
get rid of it. You let them off the
Right, you let him off the leash, and what you let him do in the house?
roll around.
You let him roam around, you let him run around free, because the dog feels more comfortable like that. It would be crazy to have the dog in the house like this, right? All day, dragging on them. After a while, what would he do if you're dragging on him like that? He would do what? Get angry. And then he might bite you, right? He might get aggressive. But if I let him free, he's going to feel like this is home. He's going to feel like he's free.
Right.
The Bible says that. Watch, Deuteronomy 20 and 46 first.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 46.
Bring it out.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
In Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, it talks about the children of Israel that will be cursed for not keeping the commandments of God. When it says they, it's talking about the curses. The curses that are upon us that we're going to read next shall be upon you for a sign, meaning like we look at the street sign. What block we on? We can see it, right? Turn around, look. We can see we're on Palomar Street, correct? Go ahead.
And for a wonder.
Something for us to stop and think about. Because the Lord will put us in a position where we had to think. That's what happens when you're in captivity or you're in jail. You got to stop and say, why the hell did I get here? What did I do to deserve this? So God said this is why we had to be cursed. Go ahead.
And upon thy seed forever.
So now we can still talk about oppression just like our forefathers talked about oppression. In fact, we were enslaved in this trans-Saharan slave trade in Arabia for 1,300 years, and we don't even talk about that. But that's prior to America. So we've been slaves for thousands of years now, and we have no clue about what has happened to us as a people. Come on.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God.
See why he was going to do it? Because you did what?
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God.
Because you're under the power of Satan. You see? The African-American man, the Mexican man, they're under the power of Satan. They don't serve the Lord thy God in those Catholic churches and those Christian churches. They're not serving God, even though they're being lied to and told that they serve God. Go ahead.
With joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for an abundance of all things.
Because at that time, my brother, we had everything, right? Like I said to you, we were ruling. It says in the scriptures that silver to us was like dirt. It was like pennies. It didn't even matter to us. We would take silver, we might throw it, give it to the kids, all our silver. You know how we take change out of our pocket, we throw it on the table, be like, yo, go get you some candy. We was taking silver that got real value, real silver, and we was like, yo, this is nothing. You could walk down the street and find it. We made things out of gold. The floor was made out of gold. The walls was made out of gold. This is our status as a people, but now we happy to have a dollar bill? Read.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
You see what he was going to do to you? Because you didn't serve him, therefore shall you serve your enemies. Who you serving today? The African Americans? Hell no. Who you serving? Yeah, you are. Who you work for? I'm asking. You got a job, right?
Yeah.
You're not serving at your job?
I wouldn't say that's serving.
That is exactly what it is.
Right.
If we look up the word serving, serving literally means to work, to labor for someone. So you're serving. You're not serving God. You're serving these nations that are over you. Watch. I'm going to show you how he said you were serving. Go ahead.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
Thine what? Thine what?
Thine enemies.
See what God called them? Now we're going to identify enemies according to the Bible. Because if I ask you, do you have any enemies?
Sure.
I'm asking, who are they then?
I wouldn't know personally, but I'm sure there's people out here that probably don't like me.
Right, but it's not just you, it's us as a people.
Yeah.
So
Right.
who's the enemies of the nation of Israel?
Bring it out.
Look at what ICE is doing to the so-called Mexican man today.
Bring it out.
Look at what that same group of people, right? The same United States of America did to black men. Look at the history of what those same group of people did to the Native American men.
Bring it out.
Don't the history look exactly the same?
Right.
Isn't what they did, wouldn't you say that was an act of war to kill 250 million black people? To lock people up, right? Lock up young kids like ICE is doing today? Or to kill millions of natives and take their land and call it America? All of that would make what? Somebody your what? Enemy. And if people with some type of logic and that wasn't blind, that would bother them for generations.
Bring it out.
They wouldn't let that go. They wouldn't be like, oh, you know, you killed all my forefathers, but we cool now, I'm free. That shows you we destroy. You see, my brother? Go ahead.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger.
He said in hunger. So now me and you want to go get something to eat. Where we got to go? Where y'all? You got oxen? Oxen? You got oxen? You ain't got no cows? Damn. Shoot, I want some chicken. You got some chicken at the house? We go kill one? So where we going to get the food?
Where is that?
Yeah, we got to go to Food for Less, right? We got to go to all the grocery stores. We got to go to the businesses that they set up after they killed us.
Right.
That they built on top of our dead bodies.
Bring it up.
In most cases, we establish them. You know white people can't fry no chicken. We made Popeyes.
Right.
All the Mexican restaurants, they can't make no Mexican food. They hire our people to make the Mexican food. You understand? They can't do that. So these things exist, but we serving our enemies. You understand? The same people that oppress us. Come on.
Thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst.
If we want some water, I'm starving, I'm thirsty. Where we going to get the water, man? What's our two options in this captivity? What's the two?
Store or you want to drink some seawater?
Right, we got to drink the faucet water. They can put anything in it. They can put lead in it. They can put fluoride in the water. But the only way we get water is what? From our enemies. From the system that they set up when we pay a bill, or we go to the store, we got to pay them to get the water bottles. Ain't that a slave? Before we used to be able to go to the river, pick the water up, boil it, make it fresh ourselves, use it for whatever we want to, bathe in it, and then the water would run downstream and it'd be recycled. We ain't had to pay nobody for water. They charge us for water. God said that would happen to the nation of Israel because we don't keep his commandments. That's why we paying for water. Go ahead.
And in nakedness.
And in nakedness. So every piece of clothing we got on our body, right? If we had to go to the African American textile company, Where they at? Where's the Made in Africa group?
Bring it out.
They ain't none. Why not?
Bring it out.
We free. Brother, we free. We should have a Made in Africa textile group, right? We free. Why don't we though?
That's a question more on us, not
No, I'm trying to tell you, God is dictating the fact that you don't have one. So this could be true to you today. Because if God let you establish one, like we had Tulsa, Oklahoma, right? We had Roseville, we had prominent communities. What happened to those communities?
burned down.
Right. They were destroyed, right? You said which one?
Lake Lanier.
Lake Lanier. All of these communities were destroyed, right? With the purpose of God knowing if we were to establish these things, we would never have to come back to him. So these curses still live on. Remember what we read in the beginning. They shall be upon you and your seed forever. God didn't let us break it without coming back to his commandments. So now we standing here and we can have an open, honest dialogue because these things are still true to this day, right? And that's what makes the Bible a factual book.
That's right.
Keep reading.
And in want of all things.
So me and you both got what in our pockets if we want to drive? What we got in our pocket? Matter of fact, you a black man. I know you got an ID in your pocket, right? Yeah. If you die, how do they pronounce you dead? How do they pronounce that you're dead? What you got to go get? You got to go get a death certificate. Right. But you ain't even dead until you get a death certificate, my brother. Right. You could die right here until a white man comes and pictures your body and says, he's dead now. You ain't dead yet. I can't call your mama. I can't pronounce you dead. I can't arrange your funeral. So if your body don't pop up and they say, he's still alive. He's somewhere, he ran away. Are you dead? So they literally took power over your life and death. Right. They operate like God here. And we don't see no problem. We ain't free. We ain't free. You know what San Diego is? Why it's terrible to us? Because I come from New York. It's a terrible place. You know why? Because it makes the people around here feel like they're comfortable. Right. They ain't really no violence or no drama. In New York, it's all type of cars going and rats and crackheads and everything. So you're on edge when you come out the train. You scared. You like, damn, this ain't freedom. But here, the wind is blowing, it's 70 degrees, it's nice, you can walk down the street, nobody chasing you or beating you up, right? And now, that's coming back on the earth. You know why? Because God wants us to wake up. He wants the so-called Mexicans to wake up. Right. He wants the black man to wake up. Right. That's why even in this place where we stand, you're going to have to be oppressed. You're going to have to learn that you're not free. Because when there's an absence of freedom, in the 60s when we realized we weren't free, what do?
60s?
Yes. What did our people do in the 60s? What did Martin Luther King do? What did Malcolm X do? What did the Panthers do in the 60s? What did they do when they realized they had a common enemy like we reading right here and they realized they were not free? What did they do? What did the Mexican man do? What did the Puerto Rican man do? All of them rose up, right? They all started civil rights movements, right? Because they understood they had an enemy. But right now the black man don't got no enemy. He free. You see the problem? So God said this will happen. I'm going to show you. Go ahead.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
You got a phone? Okay, go on your phone. I want you to Google yoke of iron for me real quick. 2 seconds. I want you to Google yoke of iron and you got to show me who pops up. Because that is very specific, right? He said, you shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck. So now when we read the Bible, we're seeing we got to pay for food, water, clothing. If you die, you can't even say you dead. Your mama can't say he dead. You got to wait for the white man to show up at your house and say, yep, your baby dead. Now you could go do his funeral. You need a death certificate to get funeral arrangements. Right. So now when you search yoke of iron, tell me what comes up. What comes up? Pulling up? What you see in the images? You want images? Yeah, you gotta go to images. I need you to see it. Seeing is believing. What you see there? You see any white people? No. What about little Chinese kids? You scrolling hard. You trying to look for a Chinese kid. You don't see one. Oh, what you see on there? What do people look like? Huh? Come on, my brother. What it look like? It's black people. Wow, that's amazing, right? It's shocking once you read the Bible and we got some context to it. It really makes us stop and say, damn, this been in my mama's house all this time collecting dust? Because yoke of iron is right there. I never looked it up until I understood who I was. Right. Then I Googled, I said, damn, that can't be talking about nobody else. Who else had a yoke of iron on their neck? Even Google know. Read that again, watch.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
You see what he said? He'll put a yoke of iron on that neck until when? Until you have destroyed. So now why we don't got it on our neck? Huh? No. Listen to what? No. We are destroyed because he said he will put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he has destroyed thee. So remember what you said earlier, we can walk around free. So why is there no yoke on your neck today?
You say we're not free.
Right, but listen, slow down and listen. He said he will put the yoke on your neck until, meaning at the point that you're destroyed, I'm going to take it off. So what are you right now? I know you don't want to admit it's hard, but read it again. Watch. Until what?
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
So the reason that the Mexican man doesn't have a yoke of iron on his neck, the black man don't got a yoke of iron on his neck, the so-called native man don't got a yoke of iron on his neck, because he's been destroyed.
Right.
Because now he's a Catholic, he's a Christian, he's an African American. I got him in one of these things that don't mean nothing. Imagine if I made up something and I say, you know what, you're gonna be a Zabuma fool. Going forward, you a Zabuma fool. And then at first, when I tell you that, what you gonna do? You're gonna be like, hell no, I ain't no Zabuma fool. You're gonna fight back, right? Then 10 years down the line, 100 years down the line, all your people talking about, we Zabuma fools now. You know what they're gonna say? Man, free these people, man. Let them walk around. They crazy.
My niggas in the ghetto. I design and own Timmy Hilniger 125% authentic ghetto activewear.
Hilniger keeps it real. Timmy's got all the latest gear.
If you want to keep it really real, never get out of the ghetto, stay broke, and continue to add to my multi-billion-dollar corporation, keep buying all my gear. The Timmy Hilniger collection. We keep it so real, we give you bullet holes.
They are bugged out their mind. They believe that they're Zabuma fools now. We ain't got no problem. They're following everything that I told them to do. Deuteronomy 28:28. Now these people are bugged out their damn mind. They're not gonna fight back.
Right.
They don't care about being oppressed. They think they free.
Right.
Watch what the Bible said what happened to us. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 28.
Bring it out.
The Lord shall smite thee with madness.
We are mad in our mind. The word madness goes into us being psychologically damaged and crazy.
Right.
Our thinking is disordered. Because when we say we're free, it's because somebody gave you the illusion of freedom. I used to think, yo, it's not as bad as it used to be. I used to say the same thing. And then I started reading this Bible. I said, damn. Matter of fact, I started reading about the Panthers first. And when I saw that, I said, dang, that's still going on today. And then the Lord opened my eyes to this. And when I tied those two things together, I said, there's no way we free. Because we still got the same problems today. We still got police brutality. We still got long hours and low wages.
Right.
We still on the bottom of society. We still the last hired in the first fire.
Right.
We still can talk about all the oppression. That's why it sound like we complaining to white people. They say, pull yourself up by your damn bootstraps, nigga. Sound like we complaining. But the God of the Bible said it'll be upon us forever. So guess how long we got to talk about it? Forever, until we repent. That's why we're reading this to you. Because the words that you're hearing are the reasoning for why your life is the way it is.
Bring it out.
It's the reason for why your kids' life will be the way it is.
Right.
Why you got aunts and uncles and nephews and cousins, and we can talk about drug addicts and people who've been killed and people who doing all type of evil. It's because we're not keeping the commandments of God.
Bring it out.
And the only people that were given these commandments is the tribe of Israel. It's the 12 tribes of Israel. Only you, bro. You're the only person that was given this. In fact, the Bible says the tribe of Judah is the leader of all the people on the earth. Right. So the Bible actually says God is waiting on you to lead all these tribes back to prominence.
Right.
That's your purpose in life. But if you walk around and say you free, you're gonna be like, you're gonna lead us to captivity. You're gonna be like, yo, y'all come follow me, man. We're going to slavery. Keep reading.
The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and an astonishment of heart. And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness.
A blind man, when he's trying to look around the room, he starts touching on things, right? He starts picking on everything, right? He look for the light switch. He's trying to remember something. So he said, you're going to grope like a blind man in dark, like at noonday, meaning when the sun is the brightest, you're going to grope around like a blind man in darkness. God said that's what spiritually is going on with you. Well, you used to go on with me before I learned who I was.
Right.
Because we just reach at everything. We say whatever feels good to us, that's who we are. You understand?
Bring it out.
Go ahead.
And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed.
You see what he said we would be? We would be only what?
Only oppressed.
Are the blacks, Hispanics, and natives only oppressed?
Shalom, Israel, Most High in Christ bless. We're looking for your support. Please donate. Please donate to the Booster Club. 646-982-3858. We got that good news you can use. Shalom.
Right, and I know that's hard for you to see. Because you believe what? Who's not oppressed? Oprah went and took her black money and said, I'm going to go into this wealthy store and I'm going to spend my black money. And they said, we don't want your money. Get out, nigga.
Right.
So tell me who's not oppressed. LeBron, they told him to shut up and dribble.
Right.
Just think what I'm telling you. It don't matter how much money you amass. It don't matter how much fortune you get. You are still treated the same in society. You know why? Because God is doing that.
Right.
We're not in a position of freedom. We are only oppressed. We think we're making it up the totem pole, but the people that are rich, right, that are European, that own these businesses and CEOs, do they pay taxes? Do our people pay taxes that are rich? And they go to jail for tax what? Tax what? Evasion. They get locked up for Wesley Snipes, they locked up Blade.
Right.
Damn.
Huh? They ain't locking up Donald Trump though. He been evading taxes for a very long time, and it's well known. It's documented. I'm telling you, my brother, we're only oppressed. I don't care if you get rich. I don't care if you live on the bottom of society. So God said this was going to happen to the children of Israel. You understand? So when we read this Bible, it's only for this group of people. It's not for everyone. It's not for the whole world. It's for the people that fit what we're reading right here. And then when we realize what we're reading right here, it's because of verse 15. Watch.
Verse 15?
Yes, sir.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15.
Bring it out.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments.
You see that? If you will not hearken, meaning listen to the voice of the Lord thy God and pay attention and then to perform his commandments, right? Do what he gave us from the beginning. Go ahead.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses.
You see what he said? That all these what? Curses. Isn't it a curse to have to pay for everything? To be on the bottom of society? To be in a position that our enemy is over our food, water, clothing, and shelter? That's everything a man needs.
Right.
He's in charge of it.
Bring it out.
We can't even get none of that. Me and you, even if we wanted to plot together and try to get it, we still got to go through his systems. We got to fill out his paperwork. We got to have his dollar. We got to go do his credit system. We got to go to his bank.
That's right.
And we think that's normal. Thinking that's normal means we insane. We like hamsters in a cage, my brother. You understand? That ain't freedom. That's oppression. And God said that's upon us because we refuse to keep his commandments. Go ahead.
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So now you understand there was a cause and effect to getting those commandments, right? The cause of getting those commandments was God was going to give us everything. He was going to have us be the rulers on the planet. But now when we don't keep them, what happened to us? We got what?
Not following commandments.
Yes, what happened to us? What word did we read? God did what to us? All these what? You want to read it again? I need you to listen.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
What came upon us? Curses. So now when you look at our people, we are cursed people. Even though we go into the Christian church, even though we believe we're worshiping God, we're not doing the commandments that God gave us to do. Right. That's why the brother went over the beer with you earlier, because the tribe of Judah is not keeping that commandment. That's why he went over with you the woman that you're dealing with, because the Bible said we're not supposed to deal with a woman until marriage. Right. He went over the dietary law with you because the tribe of Judah is supposed to eat a certain way. So God gave you all these commandments, and the punishment for not keeping them is will be what? Will be cursed. That's the answer to why we're in this position. So when Christ came on the earth, what was he trying to do for the people? What was he trying to lift? If we got in trouble for breaking the commandments, and Christ comes on the earth and he tells us to keep the commandments, what he trying to lift? Right, from what though? What are we in if we weren't keeping the commandments? Today, in the past, if we're not keeping the commandments, we get cursed, right? So now if you do keep the commandments, what's going to happen? What's the opposite of being cursed? You'll be blessed. You'll be blessed. We're not blessed. You understand? So Christ needed to teach you who you were. He needed to teach you to observe the laws of God. He needed to teach the tribe of Judah to raise back up to that godly state, because when they went away from it, he said, you're cursed. You understand? That's what the whole Bible is about. That's why this whole book, he was only dealing with that specific group of people. You understand? Right. Go ahead. You had a question?
No.
Okay. So when you read this, that's why he's teaching to our people to repent. And what Christianity does, they commandeered your book. They took it from you, and they said, we're going to make it now a doctrine of everybody. But that we can't find that in the Bible. You understand? And I'm telling you that because according to the Bible, you'll be from the tribe of Judah, right? Your history is in this book. The reason we're in this position in this book. And although you may look at it like we're free, we're not free, my brother. The more you dig and the more you actually examine the matter, you'll see, look, we're not in a position. And also, are we free until all our people are free? Nah.
It sounds good, but I believe it.
Right, there you go. I'm glad you caught yourself there. Because it sounds good, right? But in reality, now we can't be free until all our people are free, right?
Bring it out.
That's why we had to learn what the Bible said. That's what Christ wants to do. He wants to redeem us as a people. That's why I say he shall give me Hosea chapter 1. I want 10, and 11. That's why Christ came. So right here, you got to learn that you're from the tribe of Judah and that you got to keep the laws of God. You know why? Because we're going to read the prophecy in the Bible. It's going to explain it. He don't want to just free me or you. Because think about it. We could have this Bible. We could know we're the tribe of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, go in the room, take the book, and hide from you. Never come to the street, never teach his people. Peter could have done the same thing. Paul could, Peter was crucified upside down with his wife. You know why? Because he was trying to teach his people who they weren't to come back to God so that they would be freed as a unit. Paul was killed because he wanted to raise his people up. So these men in the Bible, this is a revolutionary book, and what it speaks about is a group of revolutionary men that were trying to reform the minds of their people so they could come back to this so we can lift the curse from off of us. So we need you to do something about it. We need you to care about your people, because I saw in that moment where you had to think about it, you said, it sounds good to say I'm free, but we ain't free till all my people free. You understand? Right. So that's what the Bible is about. Read what you got. Hosea.
The book of Hosea, chapter 1 and verse 10.
Bring it out.
Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea.
Think about it, man. They always talk about how Judah got big ass families and Benjamin got big families, right? And the Northern Kingdom got big families. Look on this. When you see so-called Jamaican people, you see so-called African American people, they got 10 and 20 and 30 families and people in the family. They got sisters and brothers and cousins. These big old families, right? God said you can't number this people. He said there's so many of them, they can't be numbered. If you were to number us, we'd be bigger than all the nations. You understand? Oh, hey, Shalom, I didn't see y'all there. I mean, since you're here, got this nice button down here. It's brand new. We just added it to the house, right? Make sure you go ahead and scan that. That's the IUIC Booster Club. I know you see the videos. We're doing all types of work all over the earth, and we need your support. We need your help. Scan that and donate. All right, shalom, y'all. Most High in Christ bless. But God said we ain't gonna be together right now. He split us up because we broke his commandments. Go ahead.
Which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where...
the place is here. This is the place. Now here's how we know it's the place. Go ahead.
In the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people.
Because that's what you got told when you got brought over here in slavery in 1619. You got told that book don't belong to you, African American. Don't read that Bible. Matter of fact, we're going to make it so if you Negroes read, we cutting off hands, feet, we beating you on your back. Why would they do that? Why would they do that and then bring us a new doctrine of Christianity? We already had the Bible. The Bible was in Africa a long time before this. It was in Europe when we ruled in the Dark Ages. The Bible didn't come with the white man. Right. The Bible existed. They stopped you from reading it because they wanted to tell you you was a boomerfoo. And you believe it now. You say we free. We free Zaboomafools now. You see what I'm saying? We free African Americans. And I'm using that term so you can understand how crazy it is, because I'm making something up. And then I'm telling you that's what you are. They said, no, you're not going to read. So in a place where you were told you were not God's people, because coming from Africa, we knew we were God's people. Coming from the west coast of Africa, we knew our nation. We had kingdoms called Judah. That was over there. We had kingdoms called Ephraim. When you go look up the names of those places, historically in Africa, they were named after the 12 tribes of Israel. But now we've lost that. Come on.
There,
meaning here in this very same place where they told you you're not an that you are an African American and you're not the tribe of Judah. Go ahead.
There shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God.
That's the prophecy of the Bible that's taking place right now. He said in the place that you get taken captive, there I'm gonna have prophets come and teach you that you're the sons of the living God. They're gonna show you examples out the Bible. You gotta read between the lines of what he's saying. They're gonna show you, they're gonna see, they're gonna let you see. You don't got a chain around your neck because you're a slave. You're gonna see yokes of iron. You're gonna see the fact that our women are out of order, our kids are out of order. You're gonna say, damn, we need that Bible. We jacked up as a people. And then it's gonna start to make sense. Go ahead.
Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel.
That's talking about the 3 tribes right here and the 9 tribes beneath it, right? The southern kingdom was known as Judah, and the kingdom on the bottom was known as Israel. We were a nation together. He said there, go ahead.
Shall be gathered together.
We're going to become one nation of people again. That's why you see the Mexican man getting oppressed just like the black man was oppressed. Now you see the natives been oppressed just like the black man was oppressed, because God said, I got to put them through all the same oppression so they can understand they're one people. They're going to come back together. I'm going to unite them under that oppression. Go ahead.
And appoint themselves one head.
The one head. Who you think the one head, the one leader of us is going to be? It's going to be God, Christ, right? Ultimately, right? Christ is our king. So that's why you got to learn your nationality, because he ain't coming back to rule no African Americans. He don't want an African American. He want an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. That's what he coming back to save. You understand? Go ahead.
And they shall come up out of the land.
They shall come up out of the land. You always see those movies, they show the rapture and people getting dragged up out of the land. He's only going to take the nation of Israel up out of the land. Go ahead.
And great shall be the day of Jezreel.
That's talking about the day of judgment upon this place, because what you don't know is America's going to be burned with nuclear fire. You see it warming up right now. You see bombs getting prepared. You see them talking about what Russia got and what Iran got. The Bible prophesied about this destruction. But in that, he's only going to save his people. He's going to destroy this whole place for you. That's what the Bible says. I'm going to burn this whole place so that you can wake up.
What is a nation?
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community.